Hello, welcome to the update of the IBB up to version 2.1, which is going to involve baking. So it means that the IBB is not just limited to cycles, but you can use it in Eevee and you can export it and take it into other software and use it there. And I'm going to show you exactly how we do this. So I will start by showing you what you're going to see when you open up Blender, the new one. You've got this one, which is the IBB, and you've got a Bake 4K. And as you can see, with the baked one, we've got actual geometry. This has been baked, had all its modifiers applied, and now it's a bunch of quads, which can be decimated if you so please. And then if we go over to viewport render, we can see it looks on the cycles one, the IBB. So as you can see, it's pretty much exactly the same, to be honest. It's pretty much exactly the same. And yeah, that's what it does. I'm going to show you how to do that. Alright, wicked. So I'm going to hide that, and I'm going to duplicate that plane, which is just a plane extruded on the y-axis and then subdivided several times with a subdivision surface. We're going to actually take that up to 5. Nope, that was a bad idea. I'll leave it at 4. I'm also going to put my keyboard thing on. Okay. So on this one that we've just duplicated, we don't need the IBB, but we do need it on this one because we're going to bake. So let me hide that text, it's bothersome. So yeah, if you look at the IBB and then shuffle over to the right here, you will see a new area called texture baking. And this is where we're going to bake all of our maps. So you've got the color, the bricks color, the bricks displacement, the bricks bump, and the bricks roughness. And these are all the maps that you need to get the same thing on another thing that's just geometry. So this is the coordinates. You don't, I mean, you shouldn't really need to move from UV because baking semi requires UV. So, but it's there if you want it, and this is just so you can control shift click to preview the image you're about to bake. So, excuse me, we need a new window here, and we're going to change that to image edit, a new image editor, and we are going to click new, and I'm going to call it IBB Col, and this I'm going to have at 4K, so 4096. We don't need alpha and we don't need anything else, we just need that. Click OK, and then in this texture, image texture, you want the same texture here because that's where it's going to bake to. And you need to make sure you've got the object you're baking from selected, and then it's simply a case of going to your render settings, bring your render down to 1 because we only need 1 pass, we're not looking at adding lighting or anything like that. And then under, let me collapse some of this, under performance, you want that to also be the same resolution as this image, so 4K here, 4K there. And then under bake, you want to select emit, because what we're going to do is we're going to control shift click the bricks color pip node thing there, and as you see I've got a bit of the dust, what did I completely forgotten what I've called it, dirt streaks, that's it. So this is I've added a bit of dirt streaks, which is in color and in roughness, so but it all comes out in the color output. So once we've done that, we control shift click that with node wrangler. We're then going through an emission node, so we can bake it into here. So select this, have that IBB col, have that selected, click bake, and then hopefully it will take merely seconds. But it's not going to take seconds. It looks like it's going to take longer for no reason as I can tell. Sometimes it is in 2 seconds, like with the IRB. This one took a few more. Anyway, so once you've got that baked, it's already UV mapped, I believe. I need to check that. Let me just check if I've UV unwrapped this. It looks like I must have done. UV editor. Yeah, although... okay, that's a problem. I'm glad that's happened. So this is bigger than the UV area, so I need to unwrap that differently. Let's try cube projection. Why is it doing that? Let me just check how it looks in the middle. Oh no, that's fine. That'll do. That'll do. So I'm going to bake that again because I don't trust what happened there. So back to my shader editor, and we're still on color, are we? Let me double check. Rick's color. Yep. And now if I go and bake that again, then it's going to take another couple of seconds, unfortunately, but it's still fairly sharpish. Come on. Next time I'll just cut. Shut up, come back. Okay, so now I'm going to save. We're going to image, save as. And where's this going to go? It'll do in there. And I'm going to save as a TIFF because it's lossless. That you can do PNG, JPEG, whatever you like. And IBB col, save as. Boom. And now we want to do the same for, we'll come back to displacement just because we've got to do a couple of different settings. So bricks bump, Control Shift click that. And we want to click on the cross, then click new. And we'll call this IBB bump. Same again, so enter, enter. And change this to IBB bump. And let's bake that stuff. I'm going to cut and come back. Okay, that did it. That all baked. So same again. Image, save as. IBB bump. TIFF. Save as image. Alright. And oh yeah, we're also going to want to do the bricks roughness. So Control Shift click that. And click the cross, add a new one, IBB rough, alright, and change this to IBB rough, and click bake, cut, and there we go. It's a bit crazy that, I'm not quite sure what it's doing on this side. I'll have to look into that. Anyway, right, image, save as. IBB rough as a TIFF, save. Sweet, and now we just are left with the displacement. So we want to Control Shift click that. It's not color information, but we're still going to save it with 32-bit float, which will make sense in a second. Yeah, click the cross, new image. IBB disp. Actually, we don't need to put that. We can just save it as that because it's black and white. Yeah, okay. And change this to IBB disp, which is there, and click Das Bacon. Cut. And there's the displacement. Save as. Image, TIFF, save as. Save as. Okay, so that's all the maps we need. So we can now hide that, and we can nip over to Eevee. There you are. There she blows. And again, another point, I've said it a few times, but if there's anything in this viewport that is displaying any of the Infinite Builders, Blender will crash when you switch to render mode in Eevee. So just make sure there ain't nothing on the screen that has got an Infinite Builder, otherwise it will crash. Okay, I'm going to turn the sun up, because do I need to? It looks like I need to. 20. Right, so we just need to make a new material, and I have everything I need in my quick menu. I will tell you what I'm using and you can find it. So you want an image texture times 3. 1, 2, 3. We want a texture coordinate right there. We want a mix RGB. We want a bump, and we want a color ramp. Something like that. Let's just move these out of the way. Okay. So we want to plug the UVs into the vectors of all 3 image textures. And in the top one, we're going to have the color. In the middle one, we shall have the bump. And in the bottom one, we shall have the roughness. Because we're going to do the displacement with a displacement modifier. So color into color, bump into strength, into bump, or into normal, and roughness, funnily enough, into roughness. Where is roughness? Is that it? So I'm quite far away from my screen. Yes, there's that one. So yeah, plug the roughness into the roughness. Now when you're in Eevee, the bump is far stronger, so I usually take it down to 0.2. Okay, and now we want to get the displacement in. Aeroplane. So you want to click the your modifiers, add a displace, click new, and then we want to change this to UV, and we want, I think, yeah, normal should be fine. Put mid-level down to 0, and then under here we want to click open and point it to IBB disp. And that happens. So might want to take the strength down. 0.2, 0.1, that's still too much. 0.1. Okay, and there we go. That's the IBB in Eevee. And now we can apply this to I'm actually going to take that up to 5. Excuse me. Yeah, we're going to apply these things, these modifiers now, so that this, because if we press tab, it's still a flat plane. So we want to Control A over subdiv surface, Control A over displace, press tab, and there you go. Now you've got geometry that's also visible in the viewport edit mode. And what you can do, because there are some things that aren't going to translate too well from the IBB, and a lot of that is to do with some of the warping of the bricks might not be exactly the same. So, but the bonus is, now that this is some physical geometry, we can just add another displace. Let's put that down to 0.2 and click new, and that's texture 0. We want this name, texture 001. Make sure under this menu we have texture 001, and let's try a clouds with a Voronoi F1. And now let's try and switch this to RGB XYZ and take the strength much further down than that. Oh, we're going too far now. I'm in negatives. I want positives. I want positive values. There we go. So now we've warped those bricks even more using another displace modifier, which is also using RGB to XYZ, as you can see. So if you've warped some bricks and it's not quite come out as you expected, then just add a displace, give it a Voronoi or a cloud or something, and then use RGB to XYZ, and bish bash bosh, you have yourself a brick wall. That's nice. That's nice. Alright, okay. There you go, that's how you do it. Pretty simple, pretty easy. I don't think there's anything else to let you know about. I think that's pretty much, that's how she blows. Yeah, okay. You now know the complete process to bake your stuff, and you can export it as an OBJ, FBX, whatever, or use it in Eevee. That's your lot. I hope you have more fun, and I hope you find this really, really useful. I certainly do, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, have fun with it. I've been Nick, you've been you. Until then, bye.